Get out the way. Who got a watch? Who got the time? I'm raising the clock. Even in my feelings, grind don't stop. Got big dreams, want big rocks. I got plans, you got talk. Heard it's real cheap, but it's really gon' cost. I'm tryna get these ends, building empires with my friends. I'm about handling my business. No time for stress over bullshit. You think success is an option? I'm tryna get this shit poppin' like woo. Big moves, my rules. Y'all heavy on the tweeting. I'll disappear a whole season like woo. Who said they looking for me? I'ma make.
Hey DMarie TV family, so today we are going to be reviewing Ready to Love Season 9 Episode 5, Pajama Jam. Everything I say is alleged, it's in my opinion, and it is for entertainment purposes only. And let's get into it. So the lounge for today is for the fellas, and today is Justin's first introduction to the whole group of males. He did go over to Chaz's house when they had a get together last episode, but a lot of the males have not met Justin, so they get to meet Justin. And in addition to that, Tommy lets them know that Laylin has decided that she is not going to continue on with the process because she's having some difficulties in her family, and so she wants to stay focused on that. So Tommy gives them a directive. What he wants them to do is to have a pajama jam. So they're going to all get together at a house. They're going to be dressed in their pajamas, and they're going to get to know each other better and just hang out and try to, make some connections. What they're doing is seeking out who they have chemistry with, and they want, the push right now is for them to continuously build intimacy and to push to see who you have chemistry with. So they also have some dates leading up to the pajama jam. So Alexis and Dominique have their date at the Stretch Lounge, which I think is it's just weird. I wouldn't go to a Stretch Lounge to have a date, but this is what they decided to do. And basically, while people are stretching their bodies out, they're just kind of talking and kind of getting to know each other. They get along well. It's a good vibe, but he seems way more mature, not more mature than her, but way more relaxed and kind of older than her. Like, you feel like there's a big age gap between them, because she, to me, is like fireball, a ball of energy, like she likes to have a good time, and he seems to be more ready to be settled down, calm, father mode, so they get along well on the date. She says he reminds her of his father, which is kind of the vibe you get. He just seems so much older than her and in a different space than where she's in. I imagine that Alexis would want to meet somebody and kind of they have a good time and have fun with each other while getting to know each other. And she would likely be in a relationship where she has children a few years into her marriage, versus Dominique, who has openly said he's ready to get to it. He's ready to have kids immediately, and he wants 10. I don't see that with Alexis, but they do have a good vibe. He likes talking to her. She likes talking to him, so we'll see where it goes. The next date that they show is LaRon and Vanessa. They go to do some yoga on the lake, so you're doing yoga on a paddleboard. It seems like a really fun idea, but I will probably be looking like LaRon. I'm not. I mean, your balance on the water, I think that would take some time. I'd probably be falling off into the water too, but it was a fun date. It was, it was a fun activity for them to try. Vanessa seemed very calm on the paddleboard. You can tell she works out, probably does yoga a lot. LaRon, I don't think he did yoga a day in his life. He falls in the water. He's hanging on for dear life. It was so funny. And I mean, Vanessa fell once, but she was a lot more stable on the paddleboard. And they really didn't calm down and get to talking, and having like intimate conversation until they got off the water and they were just chilling in the chairs. I don't think these two have chemistry. Vanessa's a mom. She has children. LaRon is single. He does not. The rumor mill about LaRon and being this party boy has spread all through the house, and so a lot of some of the women, not all, see him as just like a goofball party guy. But he explained more in detail that he works from home And if he did not go out Wednesday through Sunday, he would be a hermit. He would just be living in his house because he works from home. So that is his way that he gets socialized, by getting out of the house and going to do things and eat with friends and stuff like that. So I'm glad that he delved in a little bit and further explained why he's out Wednesday through Sunday, because that makes perfect sense. I too work from home. If you don't make time and make effort to get out of the house, see your friends, go work out, do things, and activities outside of the home, you really can just sit in the house and the walls can start closing in on you. So I get exactly why his lifestyle is the way that it is. I don't have a problem with it. Never did. Even if he was partying Wednesday through Sunday, he's a single man, and this is the time to do that. When you are married, you can't have that lifestyle, and you want to have him get it out of his system before he settles down. But Vanessa and he clearly don't have a lot of chemistry. I don't see this going anywhere. She's like in a totally different place in her life than he is, and I just don't see how that fits together. So they get to the house, everybody's coming in their pajamas, everybody looks really good. They're eating, the shots are flowing, they're having drinks, and they're starting to break out into little, schools where they're chatting and talking and trying to get a better understanding of each other. The first couple is Jonathan. He's 36. He's a recycling center owner. And then Alexis. They're talking and they're having a conversation and just kind of vibing. They have a good rapport with each other. Jonathan tells her that he's really feeling her, and he just wanted her to know that, like, he has his eye on her. Basically, you're my number one. Like, you're the one I'm interested in. And Alexis is getting that from multiple people. And so she's very, okay, thank you. She's very cool with it. She has a great poker face. She's not showing who she's interested in, but a lot of the men are throwing interest her way. And so it'd be interesting to see who she chooses, because she's dating and interacting with everybody. She's giving everybody the opportunity. She's really using this chance to meet and kind of build a relationship with everybody. But Jonathan, for him, it's Alexis. For Jonathan, Alexis makes him comfortable, and he's able to just talk to her, and that's very important to him. Alexis feels like he's reserved, and she wants to see if there's another side to him that she does not know. She's just kind of trying to wait it out and kind of learn a little bit more about him before she makes her decision, which is really smart. And then there's Mika and Dominique. They find a little space to cop a squat, and they're talking, and Mika's kind of trying to figure out from Dominique what he wants out of a relationship. And Dominique, he's going to lead with he wants kids. Mika does not want kids at all. She's very open and honest about that. When she lets Dominique know that, it really pretty much ended any chance for them to be each other's love interest, because they want different things. He could tell that they are feeling each other, but this is a no-go because their wants and needs do not align, and both of them are very upfront about that, which I thought was very cool. Let's not waste each other's time. This ain't it. So Tommy pops in at the house and he lets them know this is a women's elimination week, and so by the end of this mixer tonight, someone's going to go home. So they're going to have a good time at the Pajama Jam, but they still got to work. They got to do their job. The women have to find someone that they're interested in and let it be known that they're interested in them, so they'll keep them. And the men have to kind of delve into the women to figure out who is not working for everybody. So it's not just a fun night. They got to get down to work. Now they have a jumbo Jenga game going. William and Maya are still connecting and getting along well. Vanessa and Chaz are getting along well. They're playing the game. Koshia is speaking with... So LaRon is watching Koshia from a distance. He's watching her mingle with the different men on the show. She's having a conversation with Justin, the new guy. She's joking around, making a statement like, how much you weigh, I'm gonna put 15, 25 pounds on you. And so she's talking about making Justin thicker and just mingling, having a good time. But because she's not by LaRon's side and giving LaRon the type of attention he wants, LaRon is secretly seething. He is like secretly like fuming inside. And this is why these shows and taking time to get to know people is important. LeBron literally looks like a teddy bear. He looks like he is the sweetest thing known to man. But when I tell you this man is over here jealous, mad, and going through a whole situation in his own head, he fighting by himself, honey. He over there by himself. What's going on? I think she playing me. Like, he's really upset for no reason. She's doing nothing that a normal person would not do amongst a group of people. She's mingling. Now, should she have given him some attention and come over and spoken to him? Maybe. Some women will do that. They'll come in and they'll give the man the attention or whatever. Other women will not behave that way. They'll come in, they'll look good, make themselves look cute, but they're not going to come to you. You as the man have to come to them. They're two different personality types in this world. Younger women today tend to bend over backwards for men. I'm not going to walk into a party and go approach a man and do all that. No, when I walk in, get your ass up and come get me. That's how that works, okay? I'm a woman of a different era. I believe Koshia is probably a woman of a different era. She's not going to come in, and if you're the guy that she has a connection with, she's not going to expect you to be sitting over there waiting on her. She's there. Get up and go and talk to her. Make yourself available to her. Don't be standoffish like, oh, she has to come to me. And he literally uses these words when a little bit later, when they have their argument, he's going to say, she'll come find me. And I say, no, she won't. Because that's not every woman. Every woman is not moving that way. Every woman is not chasing a man, doing all that shit and bending over. No, I am the woman. No matter where I'm at, get your ass up and come see me. And if you don't, we good. I'm good and you good. But you ain't gonna talk to me because I'm not doing that. If I've let you know that I have an interest in you, that's all you need to know. If I let you know I'm checking for you, that's all you need to know. I'm 10 toes down with you. I'm not going to tell you that if I don't mean that. And I just feel like these personalities are going to clash tonight. Let's get into it. So William is talking to Mika and he's just pretty straightforward. He's letting her know, we cool, but we both understand there's nothing romantic, between us. And I think Mika is kind of finding herself in a situation where she has not made any strong connections with people. And that's becoming very apparent. The minute Tommy said there's elimination, she's trying to be more active and engaging, but it's just not something that's working because you have to be doing that all along. Now, Will's the real estate developer, and he's the one who, the last ladies lounge, someone, I think it was Patricia, said that Will made a statement about getting some blankets together to sleep on the floor. Will is pissed about this. He's like, who is telling everybody I sleep on the floor? He's really upset about this and trying to, change this narrative that he's broken, sleeping on floors, because it gives off that he's not financially stable, and no woman wants to get involved with a man in his 30s who does not have his stuff together. Like, no, so that really harmed his reputation, and he's trying to get to the bottom of who said this. So his methodology is, I'm going to go around and I'm going to speak to everybody. He's going to look at their reaction to see who reacts how, and that's his way of busting out who said it. And it worked. It worked. It was a good strategy. He's walking around talking to everybody, looking at their reactions, and boom, he gets over there to Patrice. And she said, well, when we were on the phone, you gave me the impression, and she goes into the conversation, and that's his aha moment. That's how he knew who said it. So Justin is talking to Mika, and she's asking him about what he does, and he tells her he's a PE teacher. And, she's like, so have you taught any other subjects? He's like, no, I went to school to be a PE teacher. She's like, so you love it? And he's like, yeah, I love it. And she asks him, does he have kids? He says no, but he says, I'm to a point where I'm okay with not having kids. And she's like, finally. But this is happening, with like probably less than a few hours left to an elimination. So, I mean, it's cool that she found somebody that she could see a connection with because they agree with her kind of wants and needs with regards to children. But it's a little late in the game. And then finally, it's dark now outside. It was light when they got there, but Koshia and LaRon are finally together. And she tries to grab his arm and walk with him as they're going to go sit and talk. And he's like, no. And he pulls her arm off of him, or pulls his arm from her, which was the first sign that this was not going to go well. So LaRon starts in. He's like, listen, you've been pretty much ignoring me this week. I've been calling you. The first time you hit me up this week is when we were coming here. We've been with each other, rocking with each other from day one. I've been very, consistent with you. It was supposed to be me and you. And basically, she's just like, I've been very consistent with you. And she tries to hold his hand. And he's like, no, I don't want to touch you. I think whatever's going on with him, that is extremely excessive. He is very aggressive in his tone and the way he's talking to her. He's angry, and she has barely said one or two words. She hasn't even got to explain herself. And his behavior towards her is so, I would say, aggressive and off-putting that she starts to get teary-eyed. Like she literally, her eyes start to well up with tears. That's how harsh he's being. And nothing that has happened this night calls for that kind of behavior. Nothing. Now, because she is explaining to him, listen, I have to give you the opportunity to go through the process, because if we're not going to do that, then we might as well leave. What are we doing? We might as well leave the process. If we're just going to say it's me and you and nothing else, we should leave the process. And she's 100% correct. Like, people have done that before on this show. They've made their connection. They were 100% sure they were the ones connected. So when one got voted out, the other one left too. It has happened because they already knew they had found their person, but they obviously aren't there yet. So, but Koshia is saying, listen, if that's what if we were like that locked in, we should just leave and go do this on our own. Now he's telling her she's been smiling in too many dudes' faces. And we all remember his date with Maya. He was just booed up with Maya talking about she was perfect for him last episode. And now he's mad at Koshia because she's smiling at people at a party and making a plate for somebody else. Like, what is going on here? He's tripping. Then Maya walks in and she says, LaRon, I got a problem with you. And he goes right into smiling and flirting and playing with Maya in front of Koshia while they're having a conversation about how inappropriate it is for Koshia to do this with other men. Okay, listen, this is not even what you call a red flag. This is a girl, what the hell are you doing? Stop, go the other way, honey. This is not a red flag. This is a full stop. It is no way that LaRon is ready to date. He's being insecure. He's being controlling. He's being manipulative. He's doing it all. And if I was Koshia, honey, it would be donezo. Done. Because how you gonna sit up here and flirt in Maya's face in front of me while telling me it's inappropriate for me to smile and talk to other people? Crazy. So Koshia actually calls him out on that. Y'all know how Koshia get. Koshia is always, oh yeah, she going off on people and then she cry. So she's telling him, LaRon, I'm upset. You're sitting up here doing all this with Maya in my face while telling me I can't do anything. And she does what Koshia does. She starts to cry. Now Chaz is sitting there. He don't like that. He doesn't like how LaRon is treating her. And LaRon just gets up and walks off when they're trying to tell him about himself. The men are trying to say, listen, you doing too much. What are you doing? You can't talk to her like that. He gets up and walks off and he says, well, she'll come find me when she's ready. Listen, that is crazy to me. The arrogance of certain people. And you wonder why. I always wonder why. It takes all of this for people to get into a relationship. Why is all of this necessary? I always ask myself that question because I just don't find relationship building to be so difficult. But when you look and start to peel back the layers on some of these people, it's some weird characteristics under there. LaRon is very arrogant and he feels like it's kind of a God complex with him. He feels like he is the creme de la creme and everybody else is going to have to kiss his behind. to be with him. And it's not like that. It's not like that. You know, he could find himself very much alone for a very long time if you think that's how this works. Relationships are 100% give and take. And most of the time, you are giving a lot. Everything's a consideration. Everything's, oh, but I want to do this, but what's going on with them? Can they do this? Can they eat that? Do they like this? You have to always have consideration for the other person you're with. And if that's problematic for you, then stay single. Because she is like, this is too much for me. I don't treat people this way. And she's literally crying with a tissue up to her face to Chaz, because she's pretty shocked that he's doing this. And not only is he doing this to her, he's doing this in a house full of the whole group. They're all there. So Chaz goes out the house and tries to talk to him. And Chaz is really surprised by his behavior. He's talking to him like, man, listen, in my past relationships, I didn't listen. And LaRon's like, I'm listening, and what I'm hearing is BS. Like, he's stuck. He's stuck in whatever mindset he's in, and he's not willing to hear anybody else, talk to anybody else, or anything. And he just stays outside by himself drinking because he's still fuming. Who wants to be in a relationship with that? Who wants that? This is like, right now, this is ready for love. In a normal relationship, this is the family cookout. This is how this man gonna act when y'all go out with friends. No, thank you. So next, they're all coming together in the living room area, and they decide to play a game that has gotten people in trouble forever. Truth or Dare, except what they're going to be calling it is Truth or Sexy. So it's a little spin-off from Truth or Dare. So the rules are Truth or Sexy. You can either choose Truth, or if you pick Sexy, you got to do something sexy. Now we're talking about grown adults who are single, looking for love. They've been drinking alcohol for hours at this point, and they in pajamas. Is it just me, or does anybody else see this going left? I'm just saying. So the goal is to pull to the forefront who's feeling who and who's really vibing with who. They trying to put it out there so people can't really keep their intentions and who they feeling to themselves. They want them, everybody put their stuff on Front Street. So Chaz picks Patrice, and he pulls her over to this center ottoman in the living room area, and he asks her who's the sexiest person, and she of course says Chaz is the sexiest person. And so that was fun, and that was cute. So they ask Koshia, who's the Don? Who's your top connection? And she says LaRon is her top connection. Even after this man just made her cry, she has identified him as her top connection. And he don't believe it. He's like, I don't believe that. You know, he's still in his head like, I don't believe that she really likes me. At this point, he believes she's using him to stay on the show. And at this point, I kind of question her intentions as well, because if somebody had just done me that, I would not have said they're my top connection. I would not. I don't know, maybe Koshia just doesn't feel the same way, but I would not have identified him as my top connection. So one or two things are true. Either she's using that because she feels like that's going to keep her there, or she really likes him. And in the event that she really likes him, he's not believing her anyway. So it's trouble in paradise, no matter how you look at it. But then here comes Maya, and I wish she had not have done this. I wish she had not have done this, but it's always one in the group who's just going to go there. But they asked Maya to twerk in front of somebody that she knows the least. That's a loaded Truth or Dare, or Truth or Sexy. And I would have just picked Truth, because number one, you in pajamas. Number two, you don't know the person you twerking in front of. And number three, what does it say to everybody else that you would just bend over and twerk ass all out in like little short booty pajamas in front of a man you don't know? So by her doing that, it diminishes her to other people. It was not good. She should have picked Truth. And even Justice said, if she's willing to do all of that in front of me and she don't know me, what will she do when she gets to know me? And I knew that's how a lot of them would see that. That's why I said she should have just said Truth. Then they asked Will to kiss somebody's feet, and so he goes over to Alexis and he kisses her feet, and she was like, and I found it odd that he kissed the one that had a band-aid on it. That's nasty. But then one of the other guys said he really didn't kiss her feet. He put his hand over her foot and kissed his hand, but that was kind of funny. So then Jonathan gets up like he is in a 90s boy band. And he pulls Alexis up, has her straddled around his waist, and his sexy was whispering something in her ear. He pulls her up, sets her on his lap, opens her legs up, spreads her legs across his lap, and it goes to whispering in her ear. Now, this depends on the generation you're from. My generation, listen, I would have been good with it. Listen, I'm not from this whole don't touch me, whole men and women don't touch each other. I'm not from that generation. I don't believe in that. I believe in the banter and the play and the sexual energy between a man and a woman, and I enjoy it and I like it and I thrive off of it. I don't feel that it's okay for a man to get inappropriate with me, but my level of inappropriate is different than what I hear in the world today. I'm not freaked out. I would not have been freaked out by that. Alexis did not find that it was okay, because like the men pulled her off and she was it felt like she was a little upset and taken aback, like he had gone too far with her in that manner. Now me, again, listen, back in our day, we was killing the game. We was doing a lot back in our day. But in today's world, like, you have to be careful with the things you do and how you approach people and how you touch people. You have to ask permission for everything that you do. I didn't grow up like that. If that had happened and I was in the room, I would have went with it and been perfectly fine. We were fully clothed. He wasn't like, I'm just being honest. Like, I would not have had a problem with it. But it seemed like she had a problem with it and it was a little bit too much for her. And she was happy that Tommy came in to break things up right after that, because it gave the men time to separate from the women and things to calm down. And it felt like she just needed a moment. I don't know what possessed him to do that, but it felt like he said he had a couple of drinks. So it felt like he was just feeling good and he was just going to go in and shoot his shot. But I think it went wrong for her. So Tommy's going across the room and he's saying, okay, guys, let's go. Give me your best connections. Of course, Jonathan raises his hand. My best connection is Alexis. Then comes Will. His best connection is Alexis. He feels like they've gotten to be, the most intimate and had the most intimate conversations. Then he goes to Chaz. Chaz says his best connection is Vanessa. Chaz feels like Vanessa is truly ready to love. So then he goes to Alonzo, and Alonzo identifies his best connection is Latrice. They have a really fun time together. It's always good vibes. It's a good time. And so that is his connection. And it pretty much has been for a very long time at this point. Of course, William's top connection is Maya. They've connected and hit it off. And I think they make a really cute couple. And balance each other out well. We'll see how that goes. William said, like, he could take Maya and leave the game right now. Like, he could. So that means he's really feeling her. Justin, the new guy, picked Mika. So that's just crazy. He picked Mika. He said that, he likes the fact that she is just like open and she's ready to be loved the way she wants to be loved. Then they asked LeBron, and he's talking about Koshia and how it's too real because they just had like a conversation today and emotions got too strong and he felt something. And Tommy says, so you really felt something today? And he said, yeah, I really did. So maybe he just realized that he has feelings for her, but listen, he gonna have to take me on a few days before I have shit else to say to LeBron, because LeBron showed his ass, okay? But I don't know, we're gonna see what Koshia gonna do, but LeBron would have to be putting in some work, honey. Ain't nobody got time for that. So now here comes the painful question of which of the ladies are not ready for love. So they got to go around the room and everybody got to say who is not ready for love and why in their opinion. Chad says Mika. They had conversations, they exchanged personal information, but it was no connection. Didn't work. Same with William. William said, I just had a conversation with her today. We could be great friends, but there's no romantic connection. Jonathan, Mika. I see her more as a friend. I don't see her in a romantic way. Justin says he hasn't made any connections with Vanessa and they've had several conversations, so that's interesting. LaRon said Alexis and Will said, I know you lying, because Will just feels like Alexis is the best of the best, but LaRon is on Koshia, So he would not have a connection with Alexis. They didn't vibe like that. So they go to Dominique and he says that he thinks Koshia is dope, but it's just not a connection with, Koshia. And then Will jumps in and he says he doesn't have a connection with Koshia either. They don't have the same values. And Will said that there was chatter that Koshia was saying these men ain't got no money, they ain't got no motion. And so that's why he does not kind of vibe with Koshia. Then Alonzo brings up his argument that he had a few episodes back with Koshia, and he said it didn't rub him the right way at all. He just felt like she didn't handle that well. So LaRon's like, he's hoping that Koshia doesn't go home, but maybe the men are seeing red flags that he's ignoring. So he's still questioning how he wants to move forward with Koshia. So it looks like what we have is Koshia and Mika who were mentioned the most. And so when we get to the elimination portion of the episode, they're all outside and they're standing by the pool area, and Will comes up to speak. And when Koshia sees Will, she pretty much knows that is not going to go in her favor. And then Will calls up Koshia and Mika are the two women who are up for elimination tonight. Now, usually we get to know who's eliminated the night of, but not this episode. This episode, they left it as a cliffhanger. So we will not get to see who's eliminated until Friday. This episode was so good. If you guys are not watching Ready for Love, you need to hop on and watch it. It's been so much happening on YouTube this week. So much drama, but one thing I am grateful for is I did not build my channel solely around Love and a Marriage Huntsville. I've reviewed Big Brother. I'm reviewing Ready for Love. I'm going to start dropping my reviews on Traders, and I'm going to diversify my channel. I'm going to keep reporting on popular news, hip-hop news. I'm just going to diversify and make sure that I'm hitting everything, because listen, it's more to life than the mess that is going on with Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's a lot happening on other shows. It's light, it's entertaining, and I enjoy it. You can hear that there's no tension. It's just a smile on my face the whole time. And I've been watching Ready for Love for some time now. So you guys, if you're not into it, get into it. Drop me some comments. Let me know what you think, who you think is a good couple, who do you think is a good fit, who's not. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, you guys. I am so close to 2,000. If you're watching and you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you're aware every time I drop a new video, and share the video. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.
Get out the way. Who got a watch? Who got the time? I'm raising the clock. Even if my feelings grind don't stop. Got big dreams.